Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for our astrology dice reading. This is for the week of June 15th to the 21st. I really appreciate you guys for coming by. If you're new here, my name is Jeanette. Hello. Thank you all, whether you're new or returning. I really appreciate you guys. Please consider like, share, commenting, subscribing if you be vibing. Y'all, every little bit of interaction really helps the channel grow. So thank you in advance. I appreciate you guys. All right. So I want to touch on some things that are happening this week astrologically, obviously, before we get into our reading. And I do want to skip ahead a little because at the end of the week, on the 20th, we are officially moving out of Gemini season and into Cancer season. So once and final time, again, thank you to my Geminis and a happy birthday. I hope your season was fabulous to you, darlings. And moving ahead, I hope Cancer season is going to be amazing for us all, especially you Cancers. Happy birthday. Yeah, right. Obviously, this marks the summer solstice. I'm really excited about summer. You guys, I just love spring and summer. This is also the longest day of the year on the 20th. So remember to wear lots of sunscreen if you're going to be out. I do recommend enjoying the sunshine, enjoy the day, have a beautiful afternoon, but stay safe, maybe a little shade, definitely some sunblock, and lots of hydration. Water, fresh fruit, it's going to help us so much, okay? Now, coming on back towards the beginning of the week here. On the 16th, obviously, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there. I know I said it last week, but for some reason I was all messed up. I got askewed, and I don't know what I thought. I got messed up. So, happy Father's Day. On this day, we have Venus entering Cancer, and then the next day on the 17th, we have Mercury entering Cancer. So we've got all of these planets following suit here. This is going to bring I feel some very sentimental, romantic sort of energy, maybe a little bit of imagination as we move into Mercury, right? I do feel like touching on the past, maybe making some reconciliations with the past. And I do want to say as a collective, although that could also be taking place for you as an individual as well. So keep that in mind. But I want to say as a collective. And definitely a look forward, right? Definitely coming from that, a look forward. And moving ahead, later in the week, on the 19th, we have Vesta, the asteroid, moving into Leo. So this is really going to bring some illuminations and some spotlights here, real heavy on our talents, our passions, what we have to offer, and what drives us, right? I feel like maybe a lot of hard work involved in that. And then as we go forward on the 21st, capping off the end of the week, I know it's a lot, isn't it? We have the full moon in Capricorn. So certainly putting forth a lot of effort, having a lot of forward focus this week is really going to help us in all that work really paying off by the time we hit full moon in Capricorn, where we can see rewards, right, being given for all that. And this being noted, this being seen with that Capricorn energy. All right. So yeah, kind of a crazy week, but a beautiful week, a busy week. Yeah. And I think that's it. That's it. Perfect. Let's go ahead and start our explanation of what we got going on here. So for those of you who are already used to this system, already familiar with astrology dice, feel free to skip ahead, loves. This is part of the video where I explain what we're all looking at, that way we're all on the same page, all right? But there is a timestamp located in the description box below for your convenience, darlings, all right? So yeah, feel free to skip. But let's get this out of the way. First of all, we got this guy, which I just stole him from my categories board, right? I thought it would be great. Give him a roll. We're going to roll it 3 times, see what letters pop out. They may resonate for you as an individual, or we could see if there's any word sounds or what other clues we could get out of them, okay? And then these are our astrology dice. They come in a set of 3. There you go. They come in a set of 3. We've got our houses, we've got our zodiac signs, and we've got our planets. And what we're going to do today is use these astrology dice to get a message here with this tarot board, because this tarot board incorporates all 78 tarot cards in it. All right. Running through the board, we have all of our major arcanas on the outside here. As we come one layer in, we've got these colored bands. Each one stands for our element cards. They run from ace to 10. So we have water, fire, earth, and air, and that incorporates all of those cards. Coming closer, as you could see, well, hopefully you could see, we have our court cards: page, knight, queen, and king, and that runs along the inner band for all of the suits, incorporating all of the court cards. And in the center, as an extra treat, we have our pendulum. So we have yes, no, rephrase, and maybe. So if you have like a burning yes or no question on your mind today, we'll see where the dice land, see if we can't get you some answers. All right, let's start our reading. Spirits, angels, guides, what letters do you have for us today? June 15th through the 21st. We have I. We have R. C. IRC. 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 Let me know if any of those letters resonate for you guys. And yeah, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Now let's start the astrology dice portion. Here we go. Let's take a deep breath. Okay. We have Mars, Taurus, in the 9th house. Okay, so our Mars energy landing on I want to say 10 of cups, but it's also kissing, I want to say kissing, this Wheel of Fortune. We have our 9th house landing here between the Fool and the Magician. Let's see, I want to say 3-4 here for our Taurus energy. Landing on a 3-4 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's break down these energies real quick. We've got Mars, which rules Aries / Scorpio here. Scorpio also in the fixed energy of the Wheel of Fortune. That also covers Taurus. Interesting enough. We have Leo with that and Aquarius as well. Aries shows up here on the board with our Fool. Our Magician is ruled by Virgo energy. Gemini as well. Thank you, Spirit. 9th house belongs to Sagittarius, and obviously here we have Taurus on the board. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's talk about this. So masculine energy here with Mars. Mars is all about action. It's all about going forward, right? Being very assertive, determined. Yeah, very determined. You know, Mars is the god of war. So I want to also say making sure that you're utilizing this energy, this masculine energy here coming into play this week. A little more on the tender-hearted, loving side, like a father. Interesting. Thank you, Spirit. Like a father. Because if we get too rigid here with fixed energy, we could do ourselves a disservice, right? Because all of this is taking place in our 9th house. 9th house is about expansion. It's about philosophy, higher levels of knowledge and learning moving forward. Landing here on this cusp is a lot of power here. within the Fool and the Magician energy. This is very much like going forward, not only triumphantly, that was the first thing I wanted to say, and not only determined either, but yes, thank you, Spirit, not only determined and ambitiously, but also a little more curiously with this childlike energy of the Fool. This is, yes, very much so taking action on curiosity, I want to say. But this becomes such a powerful tool for us as we are being called here. We are dealing with Taurus energy. We're being called to utilize Taurus energy, I want to say here as well. Not only utilizing the masculine action-based, right? And I want to say for good, for loving purposes, not for war, but for maybe even dealing with children, right? But for this expansion of curiosity, going forward wholeheartedly, I want to say, that's really going to help us solidify something here with this Taurus energy. Taurus energy is very grounded, very reliable and patient, but also very loyal and loves the luxuries, right? Taurus loves the luxuries of life. And so here I'm looking at us being able to find more love in our home environment, find more peace, find more luxury. If we take action from a place of love, right, we'll see a better outcome, I want to say. And again, it has a lot. I really am drawn to the self, right, because of that Fool energy. Yes, and the Magician as well. Thank you, Spirit. And the Magician as well is these are very the beginnings of the adventure here, right? So it's very self-orientated. But with Taurus energy here on the 3-4 of Pentacles, this is definitely, there's growth, there's building. So building up to a level of luxury and indulgence and abundance. But I also want to say, it's all, yeah, thank you, that's very physical. It's coming out very physical, in the physical world. For some of us, we need to ground ourselves back down to reality a little bit this week. There may be here a determination to achieve some form of luxury. In that case, I want to say, expand yourself, expand your philosophies. There could be travel involved this week for some. Be very lighthearted and carefree, especially if you're going on vacation or you're doing something with the family. I heard gambling, maybe you're going out, you're gambling. You're testing your luck here. It's all beautiful. Keep it lighthearted. Keep it fun. Don't over-control it. But it does land in the energy of something being very abundant or luxurious, building in the physical world. So it's almost like, yes, enjoy your vacation, but don't allow your finances to get out of hand this week. Yes, take action on what you're determined to build, but that also takes a level of sacrifice as well. With the 3-4, there's a sacrifice of an ego to incorporate others for some, and also a sacrifice of, with that 4 of Pentacles, it's like you could get stuck, right? We can get stuck hoarding too much as well. Something about needing to let it free flow here and not being too rigid, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. Right? I always thought that the Wheel of Fortune was such a funny concept, and it took me a really long time to figure it out. I always thought to myself, how can it be both ever flowing, right? Where it could be It could go forwards in your favor. It could go backwards against you. This constant, ever-flowing, ever-rolling, how could it do that and yet it's fixed? Why is it fixed? Well, it's much like if you think the big wheel on The Price is Right. Or some sort of top, right? Oh, no, not a top. Top's not a good example. But you have the wheel on those games, and it stands in position. The reason it's able to freely flow is because it already has some form of stability. Does that make sense? If it had free flowing but no stability, it would flow off and run off and go down the hill. It has to be stationary and yet ever flowing. And that's why luck kind of rolls, it goes ups and it comes downs, but with us here, with this touch of love, on the 10 of Cups, home, family, this is what we all strive for. This peace, this emotional support we feel in a home and a family. I feel like that comes from that hard work we've already put in and enjoying certain luxuries. Maybe even luxuries of self here. But let's not get too egotistical thinking it's all us and we don't need anyone else. We're landing here on the 3 of Pentacles. The only reason we have gained is because we have taken action. Yes, we've been determined. We've been ambitious. But we've also had to maybe rely on others, right? Not only in the physical world, but with that 10 of Cups, very emotional as well. Emotional support with 11 in a home and a family. And that's the 10s being endings. That's like the epitome of love. The epitome of peace as well, I want to say. But yes, this week we enjoy certain luxuries because we've taken action towards certain things. Certain solidifications have helped us to, and certain buildings, right? We've built up here. We've built up. I also want to say for some, a lot of people relying on you personally for their luxuries. And in some cases that causes you to, have to be quick on your feet, have to be resilient, have to be reliant and patient and all of these things, but also be cunning and think outside the box. And really there's a lot of expansion here. And some of us are dealing with an expansion of identity or an identity shift this week, or an expansion of self. Could be leaving the masculine behind, right? Or could be taking action towards the masculine. Either way. But yes, this week, definitely a lot of movement forward. A lot of growth. Do remember not to be rigid. Do remember not to be stubborn. Try to go with the flow. Remember how you're loved, you're appreciated, all this that we have earned. And really, love, it's about also who you are as a person, right? I almost want to say like the luxuries of self or the comforts of self, your personal identity, right? Who you are, where you stand, your work ethic, your solar plexus chakra, you know what I mean? Who you are, where your instincts lie, where your motivation lies here is really coming into play this week. Or you're feeling a lot of expansion potentially this week in the area of self. Maybe asking yourself here, who am I? What do I want to see in my life? And I think that's beautiful. So going forward this week, we will enjoy certain luxuries. Do remember to be thankful for those, right? And as we build and as we take action towards our abundance, towards our growth, maybe even providing for our family here, and self, thank you, Spirit, and self, Do remember that there's just this expansive energy around us, right? There's this ebb and this flow that constantly pulsates through the collective. And I feel like that's necessary to know because we got to ride those waves, right? So again, with not being too rigid, not being too stubborn, Taurus has a tendency to sometimes be stubborn also. Do remember that there's a reason for the sacrifice, and also that as we ride these waves, this abundance grows for us and with us. And I also want to note that with the Wheel of Fortune, sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's a miss, but never give up. And certainly never forget who you are. That is what the essence of what keeps you rolling, what keeps you fiery and going in your life. What keeps you determined? What keeps you growing? What keeps you thinking? And also the blessings that keep us enjoying life here as well with that Fool energy. Okay, guys? Yeah, what a beautiful week. What a beautiful message. I really love that. I hope that helps you guys navigate this week. Let me know how you like it in the comments below. Let me know if it resonated for you, how your week turns out. I really hope that helps you gain some clarity and helps you kind of go with that flow we're talking about, loves. Okay? Best of luck out there in the world. You guys, again, please subscribe if you vibe. Like, share, comment, and until I see you next time, peace, love, and light to you always, my friends.